talked you right through it.
Yeah, you nailed it. This is a really cool. I like these maps. This is a solid core group of maps. These three. I really enjoy watching Inferno still to this day. One of the oldest maps, and I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's always something happening, isn't there? I like it as well. I was gonna say,
Look at this cameraman. What a legend. He's recording on a camera and on his phone.
wow, are they paying him double for that? I don't know.
They should be. We should have a chat with him.
He's gone all in.
Maybe he needs to renegotiate that contract.
He's recording himself, I think, as well. That's very next level. I quite enjoy the fact that James now seems to be just a more consistent AWP player than I think that's one of the problems that I had with him in the past, because there was no doubt that he could hit some really fun shots, and he was like, you know, definitely games where he had a high impact. But I think at the major we really saw like a new level, which is very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like more. I think most what I like about him is that he almost has like transcended the meme, right? Like his performance at the major, like turns the meme into like a funny thing rather than like a cruel thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like it did get a bit out of hand, as most memes generally do. And then I think he just played so well at the major that it's like, yeah, maybe this keeps going on, but it's no longer just straight up a joke.
No, definitely not, right? Like it's hard to take that away from him. At that point, like he's won that battle with the community, which is good to see. He's very exciting to watch. He's obviously not the only one there. Definitely, just I think overall a roster that it does get.
Sanji, I think, is a really fun player to watch.
Sanji too, yeah. I just think that they get underrated, or they fly under the radar, partially because we don't see them in so many tournaments, right? So people just like, you forget about them a little bit.
It's like that. It's like that little bit of a bias where just because they're not as visible as some of the other squads and some of the other players, you don't really think too highly of them. And obviously from a region, a country that doesn't get a whole lot of attention either. I find it fascinating that Kazakhstan has so many good players out of nowhere.
Maybe it's time to bring back Astana Dragons as a concept.
I think that was a sick concept when that came out. I really like the name as well.
Yeah.
Anything with dragons, really, I'm going to be on board with.
Yeah, but that's like the capital, isn't it? So they were like, I think they were still like partially funded by that. I think I think the whole idea is a good one. Get some of that public funding in there and just rebuild it. And now they've got all the players for it.
Yeah, right.
Back then, who did they have? They had, I mean, from the actual region playing Adren and Akin, I think is another one. And there's like a couple of different players from Kazakhstan. And
I'm not entirely sure. I think that was right before I started commentating.
All right. So it's a while ago.
Yeah.
And obviously that lineup was, like the actual Astana Dragons lineup was completely different. Dozier and Markelov, everybody in there.
Your boy Markelov. He's coming back.
I know. It's happening soon. I lay awake at night thinking about it. It's going to happen.
Well, players sitting down at the PCs, everyone getting ready, getting that gaming posture, getting that fragging posture going. Ready to get things started.
And we're starting off on Inferno, so not the deciding map, which is, you know, that's the real meme.
Right, that third map, Inferno, is so cool. But I'm fine with it opening.
Do you think we're going to see 3 maps, though?
I have a feeling that we are. Mostly because you and I just tend to have casted a lot of 3-map series this weekend. It seems to be a trend at the moment. Harry and Hugo are having some fun in this room as we kind of took their place in the seats. About how they've casted all 2-0s this whole event, and I feel like that is just setting us up for a 3-mapper.
I mean, we're going to find out how this is going to unfold. I think this could be a quite an explosive game. Just the last seconds, I think, before. I don't know if they've done the knife round yet or not, but hopefully they're going to get into the game real soon. Did you used to have are you very specific about how you set up your keyboard and mouse, and how long does the keyboard have to be from the edge of the desk? And
I was never quite that intense about it when I competed. I obviously don't care nowadays. I just kind of go into it and just tilt it and let's roll. But it used to be that way for sure. I was very particular about how I didn't do like the measuring stick or anything, but I very much just kind of went by intuition on how you felt like sitting up and everything and leaning forward into the PC, and maybe something feels a little bit off and you just adjust it, and pretty much the whole way was going by feel. But yeah.
Fair enough.
A little bit of MacGyvering on the monitor. That's the big clash you heard.
Yeah, just Anders sorting things out. It's all right. Well, Inferno, I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about whether or not it's great to start CT or CT. Like, it just doesn't matter, does it, what side you're going to be starting on? Everyone's played this map so much that you should be able to, I think, you know that you're going to have a certain amount of strats on the T side. And
well, I think also that used to be a really fun conversation to have, like, back in the day. But I think with the economic changes that we've had over the years, I think, like, the lessening the blow of, like, getting reset and everything has kind of, you know, softened what side matters the most.
Yeah, it's not as relevant anymore, is it? Not to the same extent. I think only really, if you're like a very inexperienced team, maybe even now you could say the freedom of starting T side in the sense that you get to decide what happens more. But most of these teams, I just don't think care that much at the current rate.
Well, here we are, live into the pistol run. AVANGAR taking on FURIA. And right off the bat, FURIA is going to stack over towards the B-bomb site. 4 players in the site just waiting patiently. 2 players pushed out towards car, perhaps to get some information. And we'll see if they fall back out of this stack if nobody is spotted. But Vinny, this could be an awkward timing as he tries to push down. And actually, it's a good thing that he spotted Sanji before he got too far. If he was stuck halfway up, a Dren would have been able to pounce. And Dren getting close up, but it's interesting seeing him be the aggressor. He's got utility, and if he doesn't use that, it's all gone to waste. That's a lot of money that they don't get to use.
They also had a double nade to the top of Banana there, obviously way before anyone ever showed up. Now they're going to be jumping into the bomb side here. Sanji takes down Vinny, and inside of A, there's nobody. Art is now flanking around, which it would have been brilliant if he could have caught Jane before he jumped into the bomb side with the bomb, but he's a bit late, and I don't think they're going to be expecting him to be here quite yet. Oh, did he get spotted already? I don't know. He's going to be any second now, and now surely he's been found out, and I feel like this round is already so far gone for FURIA. They had the stack over on the B bomb side. I mean, that's one thing. Maybe that can be acceptable, but the follow-up here where nobody's even on A to see when they show up or realize, that's a big problem. Smoke goes down once, and then on the quad side as well, making it even more impossible for this retake. They're so screwed in this particular retake. I just don't even know what else to say. Sanji will clean it up beautifully there. A triple for him, and that leaves Yuri, yeah, just back on out of there. Save the kit. And that's going to be a nice round out of AVANGAR.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal when they go for that retake and there's just smokes dropped in the choke point. You had no chance of winning that round if you're FURIA. So the stack doesn't get traded out fast enough to get over to the A bomb site to help out for that defense and mount any kind of resistance. And a nice pistol round win for AVANGAR starting on their T side. And this is kind of why it almost like doesn't necessarily matter which side you start on, just because, you know, a lot of Inferno, especially Inferno, as we always talk about, matters, you know, what kind of nades you can bring out. And if you have that economic control early on, even as the T side, you can run up to a big lead and snowball that into something, some really disgusting halves.
Okay, Sarada with the scout, missing a chance, and he definitely had one down the middle there. And as we've discussed a fair bit, when you have that scout on the T side, on CT side like this as a second round buy-up, it does kind of matter if you're getting the tags in. You need to have some output early on with a scout, or it's not going to be worth it. 5-7 close here as well. 3 MAC-10s though, and Buster even sneaking in a kill on Art before they really even get close to returning it there. So for FURIA's investment, so far things aren't really looking too cool.
No, not so much. They're not going to be too pleased. Although Yuri and Vinny. Yuri does have a smoke flash, but again, it's just the one player over at the A bomb site. So if AVANGAR speed this up in any way, it's not going to matter what kind of utility you have. You simply, I mean, AVANGAR likely not going to respect the smoke with the 3 MAC-10s, and certainly you're not going to be able to mount enough of a defense. And I think they're realizing that FURIA. So instead of hustling 3 players over to A, they're going to stack at the B bomb site, and they'll end up saving all of this equipment that they have.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a bonus at least. But yeah, bomb's going to be going down, and AVANGAR, I mean, they have at least Sanji and Jane with the MAC-10s could go looking if they really wanted to. If they were feeling very adventurous. I wouldn't put a lot of effort into it. So a bit early on to be feeling that confident. So it's a very comfortable start for AVANGAR. Just, you know, not having much trouble in the first 2 rounds here.
Now they will have to fight again in the 3rd round, which is the benefit of FURIA going for the stack. So AVANGAR not quite out of it just yet. And even moving forward into the 4th round, if FURIA don't find a stack or a situation that they really like to fight for, then once again, they can save the armor on Yuri and Vinny, they can save the kit, they can save the scout if they really want to. And that can save them some money going into the gun rounds.
Yeah, absolutely right. Just every little piece matters. Getting an extra grenade somewhere. 2nd round already over. And I guess because it's still early, we don't have like a very good read. But one of the things that we sometimes talk about with FURIA, I think, is just like the depth of level in their play. Maybe less so the CT side, although that'll also will be a problem at some point.
Yeah.
But just I'm curious to see, because I think AVANGAR, on the other hand, are gonna have like a lot of different things to show on a map like this. Actually, in all the maps that we're playing here, I think they're gonna have like a fair depth to them on both sides.
Well, fast pace up middle. And again, we'll say it one more time for the third time. One player at the A bomb site. It's just Art. He's going to come out of Boiler, but not too far. He gets eliminated rather quickly. And AVANGAR is going to start healing these shots through the smokes and probably realize that there's not a whole lot of people actually inside the A bomb site. In fact, now they know it's entirely empty. Plant's going to go down, and this is what I just mentioned at the end of the previous round. At this point, if you're FURIA, it seems a little bit silly, but you might as well save the armor on Yuri, the armor on Vinny. You might as well save the kit. The smoke and flash on Vinny, those are all tools you can use in the next round.
Skipping right over the scout, I noticed. Just not even mentioning that.
Yeah, well,
something that can be saved.
I don't really care about the scout. there are people who are very, very good with the scout, obviously, and I think it's one of those weapons that we've seen turn the tides of a round very quickly. And it's much like the deagle. I feel like one of those nice headshots at some point can just completely change the nature of a situation. But overall, I don't think it's super effective once the big rifles come out.
Well, hard to disagree, isn't it?
Here's the other side of that, although this is a little bit more minuscule, is the fact that FURIA saved so many bodies in each of these second and third rounds is not a whole lot of bonus money going over to those MAC 10s.
Yeah, that is like an added bonus, isn't it? And now...
It's a small one.
Small one, sure. But also they're going to be having the MAC 10s, because if those go down early in a round, then they're obviously rebuying AKs later on. Whereas now they bring them into the next round where you have M4s, maybe a little bit of a bonus. Although the MAC 10s can still be hard to deal with. We've realized. I'm
just glad we've seen the armor upgraded by Yuri and Vinny. I was wondering if they were gonna do that and grab the head armor. Even if it was $1,000, it's gonna be worth it, and they have to know that. One of those MAC 10s was upgraded already to an AK-47.
Well, now I feel like we're really starting the game here, because the first 3 rounds of this one was just kind of, and they have more than one person at A, which I'm delighted to see. That makes me happy.
And it's a good start here in round 4. Yeah, indeed. Yuri on the balcony. You've got Henny over in lane. He's got that AWP. And Quesarado on rap side. But you never know. This MAC 10, I mean, that's one of those guns that we see so many times, teams willing to risk it with some kind of a crazy play. And Sanji just looking into the corner. He's got to be very careful about when he chooses to attack, especially with the MAC 10. We see AKs and Kriegs willing to take this challenge at that angle towards small pit, but MAC 10, you almost have to wait to be aggressive, to be the lurker.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Because the Krieg can look all the way into the angle on the bomb side, right? The MAC 10s, they're not going to win in that fight at all.
And it's got a little bit more stopping power on top of it.
Look at this retake from Top Banana from FURIA a little bit later in the round. I kind of enjoy that. They don't have any grenades to back this up, which is a problem, but I still kind of think the attempt is fun. Kicker though, oh, he's got the right angle. That is a heads-up play from him. Art goes down. There is a rotation at this one. There's still 30 seconds left. They can do a lot with this.
Yeah, that's the problem, though, is that kind of a late push, it took a lot of utility, ate a lot of the nades out of the FURIA inventory, and they've got nothing left. It must be all kills from here for the Brazilian team. Kicker, he's going to try and come in and entry into this bomb site. A little bit of presence being shown, but very low on time, and here comes the A execution. First kill goes to Henny. Yuri with the follow-up, and there's the follow-up as well from Henny. This is a nice defense as the clock runs down, and AVANGAR had no power on the entries.
Yeah, I mean, everything about how this played out was actually set up really nicely for AVANGAR, but then it kind of did crumble. Getting around that corner, like you need a plan that's a little bit better than that. It can't just be walk in and try and take that fight, even if they were sort of 2 separate fights, one at the low ground, one up at the balcony. It has to be like, where are the grenades that are going to flash everybody? Well, some of them land behind the box.
Sanji had full set of nades as well. Remember, he was in he was in Palace with that MAC 10.
So there's got to be more. I mean, did he have a smoke up there as well?
I believe so.
Because then he could have smoked himself and just flashed his way through with the MAC 10. That would have been very hard to stop in terms of just the power of the entry. Art running through the smoke, and nobody could see anything. He's back around, and so is Kicker. He actually traded places with him. There's still a player there, and that's Vinny Quesarado. Oh dear, what a job he has on him. Otherwise, the round is going to be gone already. If he can get a double kill and stay alive, that's one thing. But if he goes down right now, there's nothing left. They're going to put out a bit of a Molotov and a smoke. And actually, AVANGAR, they're still committed to this. There are 3 people here. They line up for Quesarado, and what a flashbang. And Henny with the kill on Kicker, that AWP. And just like that, they bring it back. This is a round that FURIA had absolutely no business even being in and possibly winning.
That is really disorganized from AVANGAR. It took way too long for them to put a smoke in that choke point, even if they're not going to use it to cross. Ooh, actually, Adren. Oh, he's found one. He saw the shadow. He saw a glimpse and low HP on KSCERATO, but he's going to win it out anyways. A second round for FURIA. And that, again, is a missed opportunity for AVANGAR. I was just saying, even if you're not going to use the smoke to cross at that point immediately, it at least, you know, prevents the motivation for FURIA to stick around and throw that utility and challenge for those fights. This one right here, if there's a smoke there, that pop flash likely doesn't happen.
There's even, I mean, they had those 2 opening kills, right? They could have just gone back. They actually didn't even have to commit to it at all.
But if you're going to commit, you better commit.
Yeah, that was definitely a problem of just not being decided. Shocked that James even gets that kill. Pretty good job on him. The Molotov will claim him afterwards, but if anything, that was a very, very expensive round for FURIA. They lost everybody except one, so they're not going to be too excited about that idea.
Well, this is one of those huge economic rounds.
For both teams.
For both teams. $0 on Yuri Henny. 50 on Buster and Adren. And in a 4-on-4, AVANGAR, now they're going to slow things down. They have banana control. Look at FURIA as well. They're being very mobile on rotating between these bomb sites. In fact, completely evacuating that B bomb site for a moment. And again, a little bit low on nades for the defense. 2 Molotovs and a smoke to block off choke points. Look at the nades on AVANGAR. They have a massive advantage in that respect, but we've seen them a couple times not use it appropriately.
Yeah. Grenades is what they need to get rid of someone like Henny.
Please.
Peeking before the smoke. You have to get that, you know, the sequence in order there. Smoke first, then peek. If you mess that up, bad things happen.
And I think Adren even had another smoke that they might have been able to use, so maybe not. They did throw one at small pit. One on the wrap side came in late, and they have one more for the CT choke point. So Art, all the way back in dark. He can bide his time, and KSCERATO's on the rotation. They might just miss the timing. He'll be able to spam through to help out. There's the smoke. There's the spray. Great damage onto Buster. Can they find Art? Do they clear these corners? There's so much, and there's not a lot of time to do it. 10 seconds on the clock. There's the peak. Oh, KSCERATO. He rotates around just perfectly, and Art's going to find the bomb, and that's the round. It's sealed. It's done, and Sanji must bail out. Well, we can find Henny. That's an AWP. That would be a good kill to get right at the end, but he just wants to preserve his AK-47.
Wow. They just all decide, you know what? Nobody wants to make a mistake at the end. Let's just let the round come out of it. That was, I don't know. That was another very, very strange round. They even had thrown the smoke down. I'm even willing to accept the idea that theoretically you can throw the smoke, and as it's about to pop, you know, when the AWP player maybe is going to unscope and run away.
Distracted peek.
Yeah, then you can peek just as it's happening. But I feel like that was way earlier. Like he peeked way earlier than the smoke happened, and then yeah, people are still going to be holding that corner for sure. Maybe a setup for a flashbang. Yuri. Ooh, the timing. That almost screwed him up. I mean, it wasn't KSCERATO's fault, but that was just unfortunate. He had to turn for that flashbang, and then that's exactly when someone shows up.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
FURIA with 3 in a row, 2 of which I would say could have easily been AVANGAR rounds.
The AVANGAR's given them the opportunities to win some of those rounds, and it's a nice job from FURIA to capitalize on that, but certainly some mistakes have helped them out. 3 players at 8. Just Art and Banana. And he's got that smoke, so as soon as he spots anything, you imagine he's going to drop back and kind of assess the pressure he's feeling. Vinny's going to get flashed off the angle for the moment, but a new off angle is taken.
Big fight to be winning, taking down Sanji. Otherwise, that would have been a huge... I mean, imagine if it goes the other way, then they're really split apart on that bomb site. It's probably Vinny has to go back in, and then there's only one person at B. Now, instead, I don't know. They're shuffling back and forth, but I'm not sure they can do anything. Henny's going to be the catch them going back through the middle, so everything they do is going to be so telegraphed at this point in time. Yeah,
well, and also, I mean, just an interesting... Not to be super critical, actually, maybe we'll come back to it. 2 players wrapping around. They're going to come through that smoke. Henny's aware of the possibility. The bomb is just waiting. That's in Buster's hands. AVANGAR's gone quiet again. 15 seconds on the clock, and I don't think there's a way. There's no way they can clear KSCERATO out of here. He would have to miss so many shots. Adren, it was a nice attempt. CZ inside the site, and the AWP cannot come out fast enough.
Yeah, great play from KSCERATO. Especially if you look at the clock at that point in time, you want to find yourself in a position where they have to spend extra time finding you. It's different again if they have Molotovs, then they can do a lot to do something with this position, but at 10 seconds, it's just not going to be possible. So, Furia, 4 rounds, and this time they survive with a couple of more members alive. So they're starting to build at least an early economy here. And if they can survive this next round against AVANGAR, then it's going to be huge for them. Suddenly they will have more stuff to do.
Deep smoke, deep Molotov. Kicker doesn't have one. His teammate puts it out. That's Buster with the save. So actually not too much nade damage or utility damage onto Kicker despite the danger that he was in. And he's going to back off slowly. And then he's going to come back for more. No one's turned this corner yet. There's the flashbang, and Vinny sees that it's clear for the moment. Another Molotov coming in. Vinny's going to get close up.
Oh, flashed as well. Kicker, he couldn't do anything. And the Molotov there, keeping them behind. Now comes an HE grenade on top. He's doing a lot of damage right now. He'll finally go down, and Art is here behind. He's the only one at the bomb site, so yeah, backing out's probably a very good idea. Otherwise, the round could be lost immediately. Still a lot of health advantage here for Furia, but it's not really done yet. When you have one person playing B, I mean, even if they just trade him going into this bomb site, that could still be trouble for the CT side.
Well, Art doesn't have any nades. There's nothing he can do, and he's got no teammates nearby. Even if Henny rotates with the AWP, he's going to be smoked off, and it's not like you have K-Serrato spamming with an M4. That, you just have to get heavily lucky. Art should be able to get this first kill. Low HP on Buster, but James got him boxed in, and Art's waiting. There's the flashbang from a teammate. That's not bad at all. Henny does provide some support. What support he can. The bomb is going to get planted. It's a 3-on-2 retake for Furia.
And Henny, this is so smart. You could try and get to the next corner, maybe sniper kill in, maybe stop the bomb, plant anything. But then if you mess that up, it's a 2-on-2, and maybe they win it. Right now, you have a much better chance of doing it. They have a single flashbang there on K-Serrato, and he's already got it primed in his hands, looking to put it in. Sanji playing anti-flash, but he still goes down to Yuri. And now it's Jame in a 1 versus 3. Already been revealed, and Yuri, that's a very nice control of that retake. You're going to be 5-3, and they survive with 3 members there on the Furia side, so they're building something now. It's looking better all the time.
Yeah, it does keep improving. Like, it's just taking those small steps forward, and they're going to start feeling much more comfortable. The plant is going to help out. Obviously, there should be another buy coming in from AVANGAR. I'm wondering if there's going to be a timeout at some point.
Yeah, we saw those in the other games, right? There was a lot of timeouts, but nothing so far. I'm just going to say it again. I'm happy that Henny didn't push that corner. I think that's the kind of mistake that we've seen out of the excited Brazilian Counter-Strike, which we love, but
we do see that with frequency. I don't even mind if they get there soon enough and take that corner to prevent anyone from getting to triple box.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that as well. But like once you start really taking the wide angle, it gets ultra sketchy. It really kind of handicaps any kind of retake if you go down.
Wow,
that is a nice nade. And there's the flashbang towards Rap side, going to force Henny off the angle. K-Serrato still in the cubby.
Some great grenade uses out of Henny.
Well, that flashbang does nothing. And the information gathered from Henny actually pulled Vinny right back to the B bomb site. Because all of AVANGAR, they postured, they used the utility to take top mid, and they backed off immediately.
It looks like they just want to explode right through this. They're not going to wait at all, but there's 3 people here, and one of them down through the smoke. Kick it already, just trying to enter into the site. That HE grenade slowing them down a bit at least. But they're going to get the kill on Art, and Henny unable to find anything. There's just too much in the way. So a 4-on-4, and the bomb should be going down right away. Henny, yeah, that is unfortunately not quite possible. But it's a good idea. Oh, that though absolutely is Jame on top of the box to take one down. And now Furia, they don't quite have that much money. I mean, if they don't get a kill very quickly, it might not be worth it. A brilliant Molotov into the corner, and Edren, he's still alive, at least for a second, as Yuri will take him down. A lot of time off the clock already. 3-on-3 for the retake. Jame again falling back down, and I think now it's not possible anymore. So much time has already passed here. A good kill for Henny, and he'll make his way around the corner. At least they can make it expensive for AVANGAR as Jame goes up with the bomb. But that's about all.
Yeah, they should be buying in the next round, though, Furia. That was actually, I like that they called for the save eventually when that final player went down and they only had 2 remaining, a 2-on-3 for the retake. So you've taken a lot of guns away from the AVANGAR side. Even in a victory, they're going to be really, really hurting. That is unfortunate for Furia because it felt like they had the right read. It felt like they had the right timing on the rotations to get over to the B bomb site. Just couldn't get people in position quick enough to stop it.
That box that Jame is standing on at the end there, you can shoot through that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because it has like, it's not just like one of those solid boxes. It has like a huge indentation into it. Like,
Okay.
we'll find a video of it at some point.
All right, yeah. Well, that seems super interesting to me. I'm very excited to see that indentation.
You know, every once in a while, someone's hiding in dark back there. Maybe, you know, one-on-one, you just shoot right through the box. I mean, not if they're in the corner, then you can't touch them. So it's kind of useless. But
I feel like that's how all of our conversations end when you tell me a fun fact about spamming something.
a lot of them do. I'll concede that the majority of them have no purpose. But they've cost me a lot of time, so I have to mention them.
Right, you have to bring them up. That's the only purpose.
Yeah.
The inherent purpose in that it's not wasting your effort and energy.
Exactly.
Deep peek into mid for Henny. And this is a little bit more of a quiet round. Things have slowed.
And that's in spite of the fact that AVANGAR have the Mac 10. They've done significant damage to the FURIA economy. I mean,
Both teams are like in a weird monetary situation. Yeah. Again, we were in that same, like it's that similar tug of war going on back and forth.
But that's also why AVANGAR should want to put some pressure on FURIA to spend these grenades, because there's a good chance they won't have all of them. So, you know, just a little bit of aggression early on. Oh, Sanji trying to wallbang, I think actually for the boost. You can do that from that angle, but you can also do it from the actual hallway. There's that door that's like halfway open up in the B hall. Yeah. You can shoot in through that doorway and in through the window.
Oh, okay. That one's useful.
Yeah, in the 1 in 100 rounds where someone's sitting in that little balcony, you can absolutely wallbang them.
Oh, perfect. Here we go. They're going to have to go through the smoke. All 5 players are here. AVANGAR's given up full map control. They're going to have to go through that smoke. They're going to have to go through the Molotov if Vinny puts it out, but he's going to go for the spam instead. And there's the peek. Everyone's focused to the right, but Art is now all alone. They know exactly where he is, and he's going to go down. That was a hectic defense, and they could never get the feel for it. And Adren coming through the smoke has such a power position, but K-Serrato clears it out.
Wow, there must have been a good call from a teammate. Maybe one of the guys going down on the bomb side. That could have made a lot of sense, right? James will get another kill. And again, 2 versus 3 here. You need fast kills if you want to even dream of a retake on this site. James going for the fight. Henny looked like he was even covering that for Yuri, but still wasn't quite ready for it. And now Yuri. Again, the speed with which you'd have to try and do this. If they give you the fight, it's one thing, right? Then you could definitely do something. And oh no. He wanted to save the AWP, but also wanted to be greedy. He was fighting himself at that point in time. It's like the logical side of him said, take the orb and run.
Yeah, battling his inner demons.
Yeah, but then there was another part. I was like, but wouldn't it be cool?
Wouldn't it be cool if I stick around and get both of these flicks? Well, all tied up. All tied up. So, I mean, AVANGAR, despite, you know, one of the early rounds they gave away at the B bomb site, so a couple of the mistakes that have let rounds slip away, starting to put together a nice T side. 5-5. They have money control. They have Furia onto pistols, and they have Furia rushing mid. 2, 3, 4, all 5 players, actually. And the Kriegs are going to do some work, but not if they're all blind, not if their eyes are melted out of their sockets by a flashbang.
That was a very good flashbang, and if they could have just been a little bit closer, it would have been even better. Still, you like the attempt, you like the idea. Okay. A nice spray down from James. Finally going to be clearing up that one last kill, and now Art has picked up a Krieg. He's got no armor, and he should be, I think they just heard him run as well. So that Mac 10 on Sanji should be winning this fight every single time. Oh, quick headshot. That's very nice.
Yeah, no one expected him to just stop and post up on those stairs. That's a good read from Art. Really grab that kill, and that kill, he looks like he's going to go for it. Because they do have a losing bonus building up, I guess, and maybe he just wants to try and take a weapon away. It could be way more beneficial to keep the gun in his hands, but if he wanted to go for it, I don't think you can criticize that too much. That's just an interesting decision.
Yeah, I mean, I think at least if you're going to go for it, right, you'd try and run your way there. And again, it's one of those things, it's true for all 1 versus 2s or 2 versus 3s or anything like that. If you find a really early kill, right, then it's doable. So I don't mind if people, you know, stick around. Oh, it's immune. Apex would be furious.
He does like to destroy. We haven't talked to him about that yet.
No, I'm worried that it's, you know, like, what if it's like a sign of something terrible, you know? What if he's like the Hulk or something, you know? You ask him about it, and I don't know. Terrible thing.
You don't know what it is, you're just worried about it.
Yeah, I'm just worried about it.
Fear of the unknown.
Exactly. Yes, I think it's fine even if you're at a disadvantage to linger around and see if you could look for a way in if you're going to be gifted one. I mean, sometimes you'll make mistakes, right? They'll go and look for an extra fight if they don't need to, and if you win that, it's all good. He decided to save the creek, and that's fine as well. Second tactical timeout being called now for Furia. And I can understand why. Like, listen, now in the light of the fact that the first 3 rounds that they won Furia on the CT side, 2 of them were like very, very sketchy, where AVANGAR definitely made some big mistakes. So if you played the what if game and said, what if AVANGAR had won those rounds, that this would have been such a ridiculous, would have been like at the very least like 9, would have been like 9-3 or something like that, 9-2 at that point. I think really this first half, I'm not trying to take anything away from Furia having 5 rounds. I'm just saying maybe they should be quite glad that they had those 5 rounds, and it seems like now AVANGAR are starting to make fewer mistakes, and something needs to change here for the CT side, because they're letting them get away with a fair bit here.
Some spam through the smoke, no damage dealt. And AVANGAR slowly moving up across the map. 2 players waiting to take mid. Sanji is taking control of these these A-halls, excuse me. Pretty much all on his own. He's cleared out, made sure there's no aggression. I wonder what there was, like, this is going to be interesting. Can Furia, how do they play this? Because we've seen so many times AVANGAR take top mid in this fashion, use the utility, get up top, but just fall all 5 players back to the B bomb site and try and hit a timing. And the bomb is still deep in mid, so I'm wondering if maybe AVANGAR, they're either going to set up for a mid to B split, or see if they can actually get aggressive and try and find some kind of a kill. 45 seconds left on the clock.
There's 1 round, I think, where Furia tried to retake top banana at about 40 seconds. But I mean, that could be done anywhere, right? Like, you could flash your way into apartments to see what's happening there. You could, as you said, go and check top mid. Like,
I don't think they have the nades for it at the moment.
Yeah, that's maybe the problem.
You could pull it off. Art has smoke flash. You could, smoke the half wall and throw that flash over. It's a little bit light on utility to pull it off, and they're just going to come right back to the A-bomb site. Here we go.
Okay, Serrato at the corner. Rotation is going to be far away. I think the battle's probably going to be the won or lost before they even get close to here. 10 seconds on the clock as they're wrapping around quad and taking down Yuri now. 8 seconds. Henny's right here. If he can drop the bomb, that would be all they need. He's low on health, but he can't get it. If he could have transferred that spray on, they would have won the round right then and there, but he just wasn't ready for it. And I think now they're in trouble. 2 versus 3. This has been the story either on A or B right now. Furia trying to retake at a man disadvantage, and they're going to make a run for it instead. Man, that was a bullet away from winning the round.
That was very, very close. And again, we seem to get all the games where there's so much danger of coming down to the wire and trying to get these plants in at the last second. I think the tough part for Fury is there's been a couple of retakes I think they would have liked to go for even with the man disadvantage. They just don't have the money to risk it. They've never been able to settle their economy down. They've never been able to get that comfort behind them to be able to convince themselves to actually go for it. They've had to save these guns and bring forward whatever they possibly can. It's been a really difficult CT side for Furia when it comes to what they can invest in and what they can bring forward into the next round.
This is looking so good for AVANGAR all of a sudden. And also proving, I mean, as you said, they've done it a lot at the B-bomb side, right? But whenever you get to cement the fact that, well, you can't even just stack 3 people at B because, our A execute is working pretty well.
Yeah.
And here's another problem, and just like we talked about, the lack of information, that also allows AVANGAR to get to the corner of the A bomb site before they're even found out, right? Like, they're so deep. All they have to do is, like, make a left turn, and they're on the A bomb site. And that's not enough time for Furia to mount any kind of a reasonable defense. He is gone. He's no more.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at that flashbang again, because that flash was, I think, designed to maybe blind Kickert and anyone behind him. It just did not even come close. And that's a rifle out of their hands. It's a rifle stuck over at the cars. There's a couple utility thrown over. Smoke towards coffins, and Sanji, he's going to get some attention. And he's going to find that one with ease. He could even react in time. Bomb still very deep towards T-ramp.
What that flashbang did to Art was like the equivalent of, throwing the ball to one of your friends you're playing out on the street, but throwing it like into the street. And he just gets run over by a car. Catch.
Yeah, the worst game to play.
And then, especially if you're the guy catching the ball at that point in time. Especially if you're that guy.
Back to the B-bomb site we go. AVANGAR did not like the presence of Henny over in Halls. 2 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and a crossfire set up for the defense, which can be effective because there's no Molotovs, and Henny coming in with a flashbang of his own. That's perfectly timed. Here it is, and K Serrato can do so much with that.
Oh, there was another one actually coming in there from the T side, but still, K Serrato with the opening. Only 20 seconds now. Henny helping out, and in the back, Vinny's still hiding, and James in a lot of trouble, and playing just the timing game right here, and that's smart for Vinny. He still goes down, but James, oh, he can maybe fake it once. Now he's back looking. This is a very smart play from Furia. In this 1 versus 2, just absolutely baiting him out. You want to make sure that he either commits to the plant, and then you can either kill him right afterwards or as he's planting, or that if he even does fake you out at any point, then there won't be enough time for the bomb plant. Like, it has to be one of those 2 outcomes, and they handle that quite well.
Yeah, nice composure. In a little bit of a tough scenario.
And that was, I mean, that was one of the few times here where it feels like Furia, you know, understand what's happening in the round and are making the correct rotation behind it. Would have been obviously even more cool if they had more grenades left. They had the 1 flashbang, and, you know, fair play. They made good use of it.
It worked. It got him the first kill, and it made that crossfire setup pretty effective. One player had to jump on top of the boxes to clear out the first SMG, and that gave the rifle in the back, I think that was on Henny, an easy shot to eliminate him. So nicely done from Furia.
Oh.
They've done a great job of just holding on. They've had so many money issues. The fact that they're able to keep like scraping together some wins is very impressive.
Yeah, I agree. Was that AVANGAR doing it? No, wait, who was doing that? The Warcry, Team Warcry. Must have been one of the other teams, I guess. Sounded
Who's playing on the other stream?
powerful.
That would probably tell us who it might be.
I'm not even sure right now. Is it
Not either.
EG Heroic or something? I don't know.
Oh, I bet that was I don't know, actually. Do Danish people do that? Astralis do one.
Yeah, they do. Maybe they started to catch on. Powerful team.
2 pistols, Deagle and CZ, and 3 rifles for the attack. Both teams with utility as well.
I'm just listening for the chicken noises at this point in time.
I thought James was going to blow its head off, make some chicken nuggets.
Out of sheer panic.
Yeah. Throw a molly on it. Deep fry that stuff.
I think that would make for a very poor meal if you shot the chicken with the AK and then threw them just burning petrol on it.
Yeah, the flavor wouldn't quite be the same, but maybe if you just threw some like hot sauce or some blue cheese.
Just a lot of hot sauce,
Yeah.
just so that you don't have any taste buds left, and then it's fine. Yeah.
Desperate times, desperate measures. Over to the B bomb site, and 4 players with. There's 3 Molotovs. There's 4 smokes, and they should be able to. Just carpet bomb this B bomb site and get in here. Here it comes. Smoke put out late by Art. That's going to be so brutal. 20 seconds left. They slow played this, and they somehow get the kill through the smoke. It's a firing squad on the other side of it, and Vinny's out in the open. The flames have forced him into no cover. That execute. There's the Molotovs. It's perfect.
It's so good, and I mean, even in spite of the fact that, as you pointed out, they had saved that 1 smoke right at the end, which normally you would say that's the key to blocking that kind of a push-in, but didn't work out at all. They're going to have to back on out in the 14th round. That does not feel good at all. I mean, again, AVANGAR low on time. That even then, if actually the spray from Art through the smoke there had worked out, if he'd got even a kill and stayed alive, I don't know, that would have been very, very scary, but AVANGAR do it, and now they're in 8 rounds. I had a thought. Well, let's just see if K Serrato is going to be trigger happy. Oh, it's the 4th guy.
There's always one.
Always someone checking. Is grilling chickens with Molotovs? Is that like the? That is like the Texas equivalent of, like, you know, fishing with dynamite or something like that. You know, it's a similar thing.
Fishing with dynamite's pretty aggressive as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
we need to get you to like a proper Texas barbecue. You need to see like those 50-yard meat smokers.
I haven't seen those, but I have been to like a real Texas like steakhouse. Corey Dunn took me once, and it was really amazing. So I've dreamt of it ever since. Because normally it's like you can get like a, what is it, like an 8-ounce or a 12-ounce steak or something?
Yeah,
I think this had like an unending amount. You could just pick. You could just say, I just want like a 60-ounce, and you just find it. And that was really amazing.
Yeah, Texas steakhouses are the ones that'll really make you just start sweating.
Yeah.
As you eat. just the meat sweats immediately.
I did have that feeling at some point, and I took it as a good sign.
Well, Art challenging down Banana with the AWP.
Ooh, he walked into that grenade.
He really did. And a couple shots. I liked that. The aggression from Art at the start of the round and then backing away. And, oh, Sanji's going to have a tough task. He's been clearing this out all on his own. Oh, a missed shot from Henny. And he'll have to apologize to Yuri because that straight up got him killed. But Art returns the favor. What a flick onto the jump. And almost the follow-up as well. The player on logs is very fortunate to get away. Smoke is down at half wall. And they're going to walk right through their own smoke and Banana.
K. Serrado holding this with the MP9. 40 seconds left. And they're still outside of the B-bomb site with the bomb. Yeah, if you've got your teammate covering you like that, your life kind of is in their hands, you know? Now inside of the B-bomb site, Art is waiting. He's the only one here with the AW. He needs to get a kill, fall back around the corner, and then just staying alive is definitely the key. That's a nice bait out from Kickert, and back through the fire, Art will go. He's got nowhere to stand. Still, a little bit of time has actually been bought somehow. 10 seconds now on the clock, and they're slowing it down, AVANGAR. They don't have that kind of luxury. Vinny out in front. If they get... Oh, he just took him out, and now trying to run his way through. The bomb is already planted. Everything for AVANGAR in these last rounds have been just on the edge of that clock. This is everything that Na'Vi wished they could have done earlier, but didn't do. Sorry, Na'Vi. I apologize.
Yeah, that was a bit too soon.
Too soon.
And he's going to try and make this happen. It's last round of the half. He must go for it. No point in saving. But look at the position of AVANGAR. No one's peeking. There's no mistake to give up. And Henny's taking this very, very slow. I think he's already pretty much out of time. Even if he was to get all 3 kills, I think the bomb timer is way too deep. So there's one immediate trade. And AVANGAR take a 9-6 lead at the half. That is well done. That was a very big struggle fest, that half, between both teams. Not in terms of the Counter-Strike, just in terms of the economy and what they could actually fight with. We're going to head to a break. We'll see how things pan out in the second half. Stay tuned.
And we're back, second half of Inferno. Still the first map of the best of 3 here between AVANGAR and FURIA. And it's 9-6 in the first half, favoring AVANGAR. And I actually think that scoreline could have been much more like 12-3 or something. I honestly think FURIA did their best to hold on to this, but AVANGAR looked like a team that were much more in control. And that's in spite of the fact that a bunch of these rounds were like down to sub 10 second, like kind of execute, which, you know, that's fine actually. If it works, then I'm fine with it. Obviously, it's hugely dangerous, but if you show time and again that you can pull it off, then I'm all on board.
It's very risky. I hate to be a negative Nancy, but that is one of those halves from AVANGAR. I'd like to say, if I could just go back and like take away 3 of the mistakes early on, like 3 of those mistakes they made, like what would that half have been like if you could? James has so much information, and he was so close to dying for so long. Yuri with the trade, and James going to try and bail out. But he has to be careful about how he retreats because he's got no teammates. Yeah,
plus his position up here is really powerful, even if they take the bomb site. So at least you want to stick around. I think they've been looking for him for a while. They're not quite sure, and he did tag Art all the way down to 14, so he did something.
Well, that's also bought so much time for Buster and Kicker to get over here that FURIA have to back away. That's actually kind of interesting that James caused that much of a distraction.
Yeah, just by showing himself, right? Because they maybe thought, oh, he's going to run down Boiler, and then he's not there, and then they have to go look for him essentially. And over on this side now, Adren is just spotting this out.
I don't know what you do if you're Furia here. You have no smokes.
Get Caserado, shoot him in the face. Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to get the kills because, oh, Jesus, Adren's got to back away. That's what you do, and no one's rotating yet for AVANGAR. Adren's all alone with 8 HP. He's certainly going to go down. He gets into some cover, but they're all miles away.
Yeah, he needs just straight headshots. Not going to be possible. Caserado will take him down. I said him because he had the P250, so he could take that long-range fight. Didn't even really matter at the end. And now, Furia, man up. And with the bomb plant down, now equalized by James taking out Art. And a nice double peek there. Yuri to find a headshot. James coming over the flank. And on the other side, kick it inside a construction. And he's going to be double-teamed. That's very mean. They just go and find him instead of waiting for him to show up. Nice round out of Furia.
Yeah, Yuri and Henny, the Bash brothers, they just kind of stuck together that whole time and double-peaked everybody at the end. Well played. That is a scary round that is very cool to see Furia get out of it. If they don't get that Gush on Adren, I think that's much more difficult. They didn't have a smoke for the CT spawn cross. They only had the flashbangs. All that craziness early on, Art had thrown his smoke already towards the A bomb site, but James kind of ruined that tactic.
Yeah, if they don't get that right, he's going to stay jiggle peeking them at every corner that they get to, and he's going to, he's going to be more confident in doing that.
Maybe he gets a headshot, maybe just whittles him down.
Amazing grenades. That's another one. Yeah, right in the face of Vinny. That's rough. Ears ringing, teeth gone. Just all bad.
Everything's gone wrong for him. Smoke into the choke point to delay. 4 players for Furia in Banana. And that's the 3 MAC-10s that are lit up. I might even, if I'm Furia, think about trading one of those MAC-10s to the Krieg. So you can just have a low HP player with a Krieg sitting back and providing some cover. But you really need some entry power with the MAC-10s. We'll see how this goes.
They have another HE. They've actually saved one. Jamie's just thinking about it. He's listening. How much does he believe in it? The grenade comes in. It's very good once again. They're so low on health. Every single one. Can they still win this? Kick it in the corner. Going to get found after a single kill. And there's a tag from James. How much more damage can this team actually take before they just, end up losing the round? Shot coming out there. But the bomb has been down now. And I just don't even know. This could still be Furia's round in spite of all of the damage. It's Adren in a 1 versus 3. That's... I don't know, that's wild. That's a lot of damage early in a round, and still you just can't find the right kills.
That is pretty crazy that they're able to get out of this with a win. All the work with the nade, the tag with the scout, and they just did not have the arsenal to clean up those kills. It'll be 9-8. Furia going to get closer to equalizing things, and Adren might be able to grab a parting gift, but no. He's going to miss that shot. Yuri with the triple kill. Good performance to bail his team out.
That's a nice recovery, because that could have been, I don't know, that could have easily been a round lost. And I think that's maybe not quite, but that gets close to being a little bit too much to handle if you want to try and win the map. I really think AVANGAR are in a lot of control in this map right now. So the fact that Furia are winning these early rounds, that does give me a bit more hope.
That can disappear so quickly, though.
It can. James has a scout. Oh, not a scout, sorry, a taser.
All right, James watch. Well, Kickert's down for the count in a big way. Buster could be next. They're looking for it. Sanji taking some shots. He spotted Henny. That taser isn't going to do anything.
I doubt it as well.
Yeah, there's the first kill for Art, and he knows one player's inside the site, but Henny going to clean him up with the MAC-10. James, ooh, actually, maybe. No, he's gone to the other side. Ooh, the bomb. This could do it.
Yeah, turn your volume up in your headset. This is the sound you want to hear.
He's been spotted, hasn't he?
I don't think he's been spotted. He's going to give up on the now. Now he's most definitely been spotted.
It was Art from behind.
What a shame.
What a shame. 9-9, we're all tied up.
Yeah, which I think, again, I don't know if I'm sounding like I'm trying to steal any kind of credit here from Furia, but I think that's a very deceptive scoreline, at least in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this second half will be different. I don't know how AVANGAR going to deal with the defense. But it just feels like Furia are, struggling a little bit still.
It's because of so much of the money issues in the first half, I think, and it's because we have seen AVANGAR put themselves in such good spots and let that slip away by their own decisions. Sanji, ooh, he's dropped immediately. What a drive-by from Vinny. James got to hold on a little bit longer. Yuri on top of the pallets. That's creative and actually jumps right over the shot. That's going to be frustrating. Kicker comes through, but it's a bit too late. It's all on Adren. And again, all the damage, none of the kills.
Yeah, this is very cool. Incredible pace here behind Furia. Quesarado with the double kill. Now Buster walking in behind. If he could find the right kills early on, he has an HE grenade, but he would have to guess it just right. And actually, if he throws it into the pit, that's not going to do anything to Art at all. And I don't even think he wants to test it. Maybe he knows there's a gun over here that he could go and pick up. Jame on that AWP, that's on that side. I think, did he jump out of the scope of Jame even? It almost looked like he could hardly even see him, really. Henny, certainly going to be found. And Buster probably thinking about that HE. Not going to do... Ooh, there it is. Smart play.
Yeah, that's really clever. See it frequently, but still, shout out to Buster. He might even get a parting gift. They wanted to chase him down. It's time to run.
Yeah, and Art might die. Oh, I don't think he's going to live.
AVANGAR has like this weird disease, syndrome, whatever you want to call it, where they can just do so much damage but they can't complete any kills. It happened again. Like the spray down in the A bomb site, he got 2 dinks, couldn't find the follow-up. The Krieg gets in a position to clean up low HP players, just missed the opportunity. Leg shot there with the AWP. That's frustrating.
Some kind of curse, yeah. You're right.
Yeah, curse maybe sounds better than syndrome.
Well, yeah, I don't know why, but it does. Hopefully they can get over that. I mean, it's amazing to be able to do a lot of damage early on in the rounds with the utility and just, you know, tap. There's more of it. But kills are what count in the end. Vinny does get one, and Art still alive. And all they have is that AWP, and ooh, they don't. Jame gets found in the middle trying to be aggressive. Sanji not quite reading the signs yet. There's a lot of them on that wall. He had a lot of clues to work off of.
Furia is having a very nice T side at the moment.
Fantastically so. And again, this is the kind of base that, and we've mentioned this I think every time since Furia made their entry onto the scene, that people have this experience with them where you know they're going to be aggressive, you know they're going to be fast. You probably remind yourself at the beginning of the game that, wait a minute, that T-side is going to be hard to deal with, and then you still just can't really find a way to shut it down. We've seen examples of teams that do it, but I feel like once they slip out of your grasp, it's like you're in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is kind of the scary part for, I always feel, the younger Brazilian teams is when they're starting to have a little bit of fun and build up that momentum and they want to get aggressive and start to showboat a little bit. Henny's going for the knife in that round.
It's one of the reasons why I do love watching them play. Yeah. Like, even with some of the question marks, it's like, that's fun.
I think the only Brazilian team that's lost that tendency has been, you know, the Fallen Cores, the Fallen for Cores and everything.
Very true.
They're the only team that, like, I feel like there's not, like, some crazy, like, momentum build-up that drives them over the edge. But all the other teams in Brazil, I feel like they're just insane with the way that they play the game. Good insane, not bad insane.
The best kind of insane in some sense, yeah. No, and you know there are maybe a bunch of reasons for that. Just some of them obviously could be, you know, internal struggles and friendships and whatever else might be happening. My God,
what is happening in the background here?
Is somebody winning or did somebody die? I just no.
Or get married? Could have been a positive, Andrews.
Could have been a positive. 21st round, and very, very deep smoke thrown from second mid, and another one thrown just now towards the quad side landing there. So those are some long-range smokes coming out. Henny going to be taking down Kicker. That's a brilliant shot out of Jame. Up on top of the box, but he can't quite get it. What a shot that would have been. Follow-up would have been amazing. Sanji goes down, but still a 1-on-2, and I don't even know. Does he know Adren is down here? Probably doesn't know. That was the first kill for Adren. They had no idea. That's I don't know. That's still close. They had a lot of people in that bomb site.
Well, yeah, that indication, that rotation came over very fast. The fact that, you know, Furia was fighting 3 different people at that A site just let Adren sit in pit. Not a single person from Furia attacked pit. Excuse me, one was coming from halls, but he got picked off with the AWP, and he was probably the person who would have been there to check for any presence. So AVANGAR get around on the board on their CT side. See if they can build upon it. 19 kills for Yuri, 17 for Quesarado. Those are kind of the 2 guys that we pointed out. Obviously, Henny a well-known entity. He's got 16 frags. 16 for James, 14 for Sanji, and 11 for Kickert.
Buster going to be running in close with the AWP next to the smoke. There's Vinny right behind him. That's not the first time this is happening. Kickert will take down Vinny. What is this madness? I don't mind Buster running to that corner with the AWP. Once you get the smoke down, you think he's going to be backing out. But he wasn't. He's just like, no, I can still do this. That, if you're Furia, must be very confusing. And it must sort of almost feel like that's more aggressive than even they would want to play. Like, holy hell.
Fighting fire with fire.
I guess so.
Insanity with insanity. Sanji rotating into the B bomb site. Two-player split for this defense. 2 at A, 2 at B. James could have a fast rotation, but with the AWP, perhaps not. Perhaps it's not going to be easy. Sanji forced into the open. He's burning alive. He's so low. Easy kill.
Wow.
And it's time to call a save, I think, if you're AVANGAR. James might come in and see if he can get an early kill, a lucky kill. But if he doesn't find anything in the next 10 seconds or so, and now that the smoke clears, you might just want to back away. Even though they have so much utility, oof, that could have been the one. That could have pulled them right back.
Yeah, I think that would have been bad news if it had pulled them back, probably. But yeah, that's some very, very good use of Molotovs in that bomb site. That did everything they wanted to. It's one thing if you carpet the whole bomb site with fire, but if you just have one Molotov and you throw it sort of, you're just guessing.
Yep.
If you don't guess the right position, it sort of doesn't really do that much for you. But this time it was pretty much perfect. So well done for Furia. And that is going to sting for AVANGAR. I think they were probably hoping now is the time for the big comeback. Their first half was I think the first half for AVANGAR was really good. The second half here has been a little bit slower.
Dicey, hasn't it? I don't think it's going to sting just yet. I mean, obviously, they're not happy with that, but they have the money to buy again. With the 2 saved weapons, they can drop some rifles over, so that they're going to reinvest into this round. So this one, if they lose, certainly going to sting.
Yeah, that's where all the fun comes to a bit of an end.
12 to 10 for Furia Esports. Nice shot from James.
Willing to take that fight and reward it for it. Yuri going down. And I don't know. I wonder how far in James would have peeked if he hadn't run into anyone there. Because we see people take that early angle, but people usually don't go beyond that. Heads up play from Sanji, not overstepping that. But now they're going to be... They could crush the B-bomb side. They've at least got a player in library. Trade there for Queserado. But Art, yeah, this is a powerful position no matter what.
Well, they've got to give this time to come to fruition because there's 2 ways this can work. Someone can rotate from the B-bomb site to the A-bomb site. He can get that kill, which would open up the option for them to fall back. Or he can start peeking from library into the A site and see if he can find anything. But everyone's moved out of that position. And Sanji might be able to find a free kill. Queserado is so low. He's going to hear these nades.
That's the bomb up there. That's the bomb down on Henny. Still some time, but the Molotov, I mean, just, again, this is really going to slow them down. Art's going to be moving over on the other side, but that play from Sanji is... It's either very risky or very smart. Turns out it's very smart in this particular case. What it did do, obviously, is leave the pit player alone for a long time, so that's the risk part of it, I guess. In case Cerrado has to just back on out. That's... Wow. Well done. Don't think they're going to be finding Queserado.
No, remember, that's an important win for AVANGAR. That was the last of their buys. They had to have that victory. So really, really cool push and play from Sanji. And then, obviously, now Furia still have plenty of cash to fight in the next round. But the score is just going to be... It's going to be as close as humanly possible down the stretch. 12 to 11. Just a very narrow lead. And both of these teams, again, showing some resilience and sticking around in this game.
You know what I find kind of interesting on this map?
What's that? What do you find interesting on this map, Anders?
Now you really built it up. I guess it's true for all of the maps.
Okay.
But if you go and look in some of these rooms that are up there in like the T hallways early on, like there's a kitchen up there. There's like a fireplace. There's some sofas. There's some couches or whatever it is. Like those things are all just like scattered across the rooms, and it's like all of our collective brains just don't even notice that none of that makes any sense. Like like no room would have like just a fireplace and a little chair in front of it, and then nothing else in it, and just like with no context to the rest of the house.
Okay.
But just because those things, they were like, that's a room. It's fine.
Yeah, let's have some fun with it. Little Easter egg.
I'm not saying that the maps have to be realistic or anything. I'm just,
I'm sure if we looked close, there's a lot of things that wouldn't be realistic in these maps.
I mean, just universally, none of it makes any sense. But it's fine. Like, it's obviously not made for actual architecture, What if we did hire an architect to look through them and just critique all the maps?
Who was it that told us they got a tweet today about how they were disappointed? Someone on Twitter was just tweeting at him and said, I'm really annoyed that there's no more maps that have any like actual military value, or like there's no military strategy built into the maps, something like that.
I don't know, but that sounds wild.
It sounds awesome. I think it's, I mean, a silly tweet, but the concept is there, right? We need to hire more military strategists to create Counter-Strike maps. Ooh, Tick of the Molotov is going to let Buster know what's coming. He turns away and gets the first kill, holding on to the bomb site. And again, he's all alone. That's a big trade, and he was out there on an island the whole time.
He really was. And that's, I don't know, that's a criticism I feel like we sometimes end up leveling against teams. Hold on. Sanji gets at least a kill. The orb is here as well. Oh, Yuri! That's a nice lineup. Sanji obviously jumping for James to take that shot, but he died so quick that Yuri just is able to readjust and get the follow-up headshot.
And unfortunately for the player that rotated over, there was no smoke in the choke point. That was never passed along. I think there's way too much craziness going on in that B bomb site. So unfortunately, he turns the corner and the op's already posted up and waiting, which is a pretty cool twist to a strategy for FURIA, feeling like they can deliver a pretty hard contact punch like that.
If you're playing alone in the B bomb site, and you are playing that deep into the bomb site, the problem is you really can't even call in the backup. I mean, unless they're friendly and they signal it, the whole way, and you trust in that signal, right? They throw in smokes and you say, okay, I definitely think they're going to follow through. But you can't even know that, right? So sometimes if you're playing alone there inside of the bomb site, that can be a big risk. 11-13, and FURIA. I know I said like 4 rounds ago that I thought AVANGAR were playing better on Inferno, but if you ask me right now, I would say that FURIA are looking like they're winning this map.
Well, this defense has been real shaky. What, only 2 rounds won in the second half by AVANGAR? It hasn't been great. It's actually astounding to me that they're still able to put together some of these. These are pretty solid buys down the stretch for how many rounds they've lost. That losing bonus is really bailing them out in a big way.
Some grenades, but this time they don't really do anything. And that is, speaking of grenades, going to be a problem real soon for AVANGAR. So FURIA, they're happy to just pose up here, throw out some flashbangs, shoot some rifles every once in a while, and just force out the last of the smokes.
And they're happy to go right back to the B bomb site again. And unfortunately, I think this is going to start getting red. Adren, all the experience showing through. He's already rotating over. He's cheating into that CT spawn side. And he's going to continue to back up. And he could get there in time. Boost up in the back of the site. So any delay that these defenders can provide is going to help Adren in a big way.
That Molotov failed a little bit. They thought they had already burned this out. Buster getting a huge double kill behind it. Yuri and Vinny with a bit of a return, but kick it back here. Easy spray on one. And even if it took a while, there's the follow-up kill. That Molotov was meant to go on top.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but, well, not really unfortunate. That's just a big mistake, isn't it? It's also, what a great read from Adren. The fact that he just pulls over, even though there's some utility being thrown over at the A bomb site, instead of actually being the fake that keeps him at A, it's the indication that he needs to go to the B bomb site in his mind. He gets there in time to be that second presence, so they just didn't realize there was going to be a second player inside the site still. 13-12 and a timeout being called.
I wonder, even with all 3 people there, how much would have changed if that Molotov works and
landed.
Because obviously the whole point is it's not just that they don't push him off, it's that they don't even check it, right? Like, they feel so confident walking in that like no one's going to be there. So 2 of them died just without even responding.
Yeah, no one was really prepared for that fight. It's the concept again of peeking with intent.
Yeah, it's even possible that like the fire from the Molotov could have helped to slightly obscure that position. Even like it would have made it harder for them to actually even see him to begin with, at least. 12-13, and AVANGAR with a very important round. Every round I guess from here on out kind of is. They've got to make sure that they win this next one. That would break the economy on the Brazilian side. Then actually AVANGAR could be right back in the game.
Flashbangs towards Banana.
That's a lot of people shuffling around CT spawn. I don't like it.
Yeah, they're certainly having an awkward conversation. But I mean, this is kind of the charm, I think, of AVANGAR as a team, is that, you know, at times they don't look like they know what they're doing. They are like the scrappy, like bad news bears of Counter-Strike, where it's just like this hodgepodge of players that somehow you feel like it shouldn't work, but it somehow they always manage to make it competitive.
Yeah, they really do. It's just so scary. If you're running around like that trying to shift positions and they push somewhere.
Here's the tough part. Sanji's supposed to be guarding this. And he's got an SMG, and actually he's fortunate they went towards him. Not fortunate that Art hits him right in the face, but there was a real opening for them to just wrap on that A-bomb site for free. Another kill. And now who wants to attack the A-bomb site? I can't believe they're coming back here.
Jame with the AWP, trying to bait out a shot, falling back to the corner. But yeah, one good flashbang and this whole A-bomb site's gone. Or just another entry from Art, a third one to add to the mix. And Adren back here's every target in front of him. And a quad kill now for Art. All of them headshots.
I'm so surprised that FURIA got those. Like, that's the logic of it doesn't seem to make sense in my brain. Where it's you kill 2 rotators coming over from the B bomb site, and then you still go attack the A bomb site.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, it worked. Fair play. Art's got 4 kills. He hasn't even been touched. He hasn't lost a point of health. So I mean, I'm not really criticizing the results, obviously, but it's just the thought behind it. Either way,
Jason, look at this room. What's in this room? Like, there's a fireplace, a little chair in the corner. There's a bookcase. There's 2 bookcases. Like,
yeah, that makes sense. He's a reader. I know it's a crazy concept with a Kindle these days, but bookcases are legit. If I didn't travel so much, I would still buy hard copies of books.
There aren't even. You know, you can bring those on planes. They don't stop you from doing that, Jason.
No, but I mean, I can't bring like a you know. Some of those books heavy, thick, depending on what you read.
So what? I mean, they won't fit in your carry-on, or what's going on here?
Oh, but
they too heavy?
It's a conversation for later.
All right. Fair enough.
It's just annoying traveling with the dictionary that I read. Vinny
reading the dictionary with DDK. I don't know why that's funny.
Yeah, why was it DDK?
I know, that's just the first thing that came to mind. I'll be honest. Some early grenade exchanges seem to be going slightly in AVANGAR's favor, but they don't really have a lot of weapons here.
And AVANGAR not interested whatsoever in fighting for overtime. Fully buying here. They want to try and win this so they can still stay in the game and try and take it in regulation, which makes sense because they have not been able to string 2 rounds together this entire half, so they probably are not too confident that they can string 3 together. In fact, the last 6 rounds have been back and forth. They've been traded by each team. No one's strung a round together in the past 6.
Yeah, what a tough turn of events right here. Art. A couple of shots ringing through. The MP9 is right on the other side, and getting a kill here, that would be huge.
How is he alive?
I don't know. I think the dancing and the jumping made a difference somehow. Nice shot from Jame, but he can't follow it up. 25 seconds as they make their way on. Adren caught reloading, and now Sanji with a flanking mission. That MP9, if he could stop the bomb plant, that would be a lot of fun, but instead, he walks right into certain death. Yuri with a creek.
And what a tough decision you have to make if you're Buster and Kickert. Although that drop down, the fact that you failed the jump should just send you back. But I mean, the idea is, do you save the armor so you can have, you know, whatever you can in the next round, or do you try and go for a gun? Because AVANGAR needs everything they can. They kind of need the rifle, so I don't even really blame Buster for sticking around, despite the fact that he probably realizes he's been heard. He needs a weapon. His team needs a weapon, and they're going to get 2 right at the end. That's a good peek from alt mid as well. Kickert wrapped all the way around.
That was sort of a needless. I mean, there's no reason he had to fire all of the bullets and go for a reload.
Yeah.
Could have just fired 10 and waited. I guess it's such a small point. Oh, if he had shot that, that would have been brutal. Regardless, they get some rifles, and that's very important because that's all they're going to have more or less to try and defend with here. I think Buster had like 1,300 before the round ended, so I don't know if he's going to have a little bit more. Maybe he could drop like a FAMAS or something.
or an SMG. I think they actually only recovered 1 of those rifles, which is really unfortunate.
Just some actually brutal yelling going on.
There's no way is that Cadian?
it can't be that like right now it's 7-1 in favor of EG.
Well, that was the first round the Heroic won, so maybe it is them.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Americans have been getting a bit lippy as well with the smack talk during games. So.
That is one of my favorite things about the American teams right now. I really love it. I really enjoy it. And what I enjoy even more is that it seems like the Counter-Strike community as a whole has kind of warmed up to it a little bit. Whereas like in the past, people would get very, very nervous. People like, oh, but we're all friends, and you know, no one should say anything. It's like, yeah. Now I feel like it's a little bit more, you know, accepted.
Well, it makes a little bit more sense when the American teams have started winning recently.
Well, that's also true.
That certainly helps things. Furia here, 15-12. They've got 3 chances to close this out. It's a Krieg, an M4, an SMG, and 2 CZs for AVANGAR to hold on to this map.
Double grenade down the bottom there, not doing anything at all. And AVANGAR, as you said, having a real hard time putting together rounds, stringing together rounds in this map. On the second half, and they need 3 of them in a row. Art, that's a very dirty peek to run to that corner. He was even flashed in. There's nobody else on the bomb side. That is such a difficult play to deal with. Kickert now smoked out. This is some world-class stuff, isn't it?
Kickert's got to be thinking, he's got to be saying, are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Why have you just done it this way?
I don't know. He's going to be so upset. You're going to feel so outplayed at that point in time. James taking a fight here, but he goes down as well. Art able to win it. He's played a very cool round here. Another headshot coming through, taking down Buster. Even the grenade, just nothing can deal with it, it seems. The smoke is up, and Art finally gets dropped, but I just don't think it's in time here. The bomb is already planted. Henny with the kill now as well. This is a very, very cruel way to take it away from AVANGAR. 16-12 on Inferno for Furia. Man, they played a very cool second half here on the T side.
Yo, they did. They played a very cool whole map considering all the pressure they were under. Remember, they were down 6-9 at the end of the first half on their CT side. They were under economic problems the whole time. It felt like AVANGAR played the better game. It even should have had a bigger lead in that first half, and maybe that's what ended up punishing them. But either way, Furia, a cool showing to take that map.
Yeah, it really was. That's, I don't know if it's necessarily surprising, but I don't know, definitely I had higher expectations going into the defensive side for AVANGAR, and Furia just showing that, you know, they still have what it takes here. So that's I think that's very encouraging. That was Inferno as the first one. Second one is a Mirage and an Overpass?
Mirage and Overpass is the third. So that's going to be fun. Mirage especially. I mean, some craziness comes out on that map. The Alpers, I thought, were having a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Art obviously playing well, Yuri playing well, Henny playing well for Furia. That's a scary trio to have to go up against. You can see they're 24 on Yuri. Queserado, that was a pretty quiet 21 kills, if I'm honest with you. I mean, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, so that's what the top 5 and 4 out of 5 are on the Furia side.
And I hate to do this, but I feel like we kind of have to. Is one of the guys we were most excited about seeing was Adren, after like especially the resurgence he had at the major, and he had a very quiet game.
Yeah, you're right. Here's a little bit of a head-to-head between Yuri and James, and I mean, I don't know, the entry kills for James is huge. That's super important, but it's not going to make up for everything.
I feel like it's a little bit stacked. I always, in my head, for entry kills, kind of throw out the team's Alpers, because I don't think like those are the same, you know, because they get so many picks, right? Like you're usually a guy holding an angle that someone walks into, or maybe you go for a peek, and it's a valuable kill, but the idea of it as an entry is sometimes, I think, a bit skewed. That's just my own personal thoughts, though.
No, you could be right. I think you could make an argument for having both those stats somehow if you wanted to.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to go to a break, and then we'll be back with map number 2. So